out. It's the week's pet. It's Pet Chat, where pets rule the heart. That's right. Come hang out.
Do you have something covering your screen? Like your webcam?
It's Pet Chat, where pets rule the heart.
I can't hear you, Chris.
It should be working.
No, you're frozen. Hey everybody, we're having trouble with my camera, so we're just going to try our best to go with what we have. I can't get my laptop camera to talk to. I can't get my laptop camera to talk to the program.
But it's also a problem if you can't hear me. I don't know if people can hear me. I don't know. And I can't hear Jason. Oh, there you are. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Wow. Okay, that's great.
Yeah, I think you're good. Make sure you're on the
I'm on Yeti.
Yeah. Okay. All right, I think we're good to go. Sorry, everybody. It was a little frustrating. We're back. So welcome to Pet Chat. We'll do our little intro and then we'll get going. Hello, pet enthusiasts. My name is Jason Zakowski. Welcome to Pet Chat. I'm the dog dad of Bunsen, Beaker, and Bernoulli, and the cat dad to Brix. My co-host with the mostest is...
Hi there, I'm Chris Zakowski. I'm the cat mom to Brix and Ginger, as well as the dog mom to Bunsen, Beaker, and Bernoulli.
Every week in Pet Chat, we try to meet up and answer some questions. And then we share stories of the week. And if there's time and people want to share their stories, we welcome that as well. Oh, there we go. I apologize. I had some major tech problems. I think we've got it all sorted out. There's a lot of moving parts here. Hopefully everybody can hear us now on Twitter. Is that true? Thumbs up on audio for Twitter. I think I figured out the issue there. And we are live on Instagram, Facebook, Substack, and YouTube. So I think we're good to go. Okay, we're good now. Yeah. My Chrome crashed, and the way this is set up is pretty complicated. And when it does crash, it means I have to reset everything. And you don't know it will crash until you go live. So it's a bit of a gong show. We do start with some questions. So if you have some questions, please type them up. We'll get to those as soon as possible. We'll try to answer as many as we can. Many people way up at the front were saying, hey, we can hear you, as we had about some, 2 or 3 minutes of tech problems. The main question that people want to know is, how is Brix?
And I want to go get him. So have you seen him lately?
What's that?
Have you seen him lately?
Well, you can get yourself a goo tube.
Yes, he's addicted to those.
He'll stay for the goo tube.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Brixie, goo tube. Oh, I have a goober right here. Oh, hello. No, only one dog. Hi. So Chris has gone to get Bricks. I'll answer the question so you guys can see Bricks. Yeah, Bricks is doing great. I am not gonna lie, we are watching Bricks like a hawk. Like it's pretty surreal that he's home and normal. What is today? Today's Saturday. So he was discharged last Saturday from hospital. And it's just so surreal that he is home and doing so well and really back to normal. So we don't know. I think the first couple days I would say he was tired. So he was not himself the first couple days. But that's to be expected because he was in an incubator on oxygen for 5 days. And very close to death for one of those, which was horrific and very, very sad. But he seems to be doing like really good. Like he's back to his own self. He was playing around. Chris has given him this little spring, like it's a Christmas toy spring. We were doing some cleaning. And yeah, he's been playing with his little spring, which is super cute. And then, yeah, so Pam says, so happy to see Bricks is home and getting Bernoulli kisses. Yeah, Bernoulli loves that little guy. And then Gabby asks, have you guys gotten so much deserved rest? I'm not going to lie, both Chris and I have had a pretty big nap today. Like she was done later than I was. Oh, there's Bricks. Chris has Bricks. So the little guy's doing really, really good. He was cuddled with Chris and napping with her, and then he was cuddled with me and napping with me. So yeah, he's doing so good, and we love him so much. Yeah, he's just a friendly, cuddly little guy. How old is Bricks, Chris?
He's like 9 months old.
Yeah. Is Beaker closer to Bricks now? I think like it was pretty cool seeing how Beaker interacted with Bricks. Oh, I'm frozen. Can you hear me, Chris?
I can hear you. You might be frozen, but I can hear you.
Okay, as long as you can hear me, maybe my picture will catch up.
The internet's, the internet.
Yeah, the internet's the internet. We've had storms for the last couple days. Yeah, so Bricks is a baby. He's still a kitty. And I think like Beaker definitely was very kind to Bricks when he got home, and she let him cuddle with her on the couch. You got some photo and video of that, Chris. So
yeah, I'm just so glad he's okay and that he's home with us. And he was stuck in a room. That's why he wasn't down here. So I always like to keep my eye on him. Like Jason said, we watch him like a hawk. And we're just very, very aware of where he is at any given moment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I was telling everybody how surreal it is that he's just fine when he was so sick. Like he's running around. He was playing with the spring. He's leaping. He's super playful. So, yeah. Paul says, I got tears in my eyes. So happy to see Bricks. Peter says, I'm not going to lie. We took a nap as if napping was a bad thing. Yeah. We like to be so busy. So like taking time for like a random nap during the day is weird. That's a nice comment from Rose. All your fur babies are special and beautiful. Glad you're doing well. It's good to see everyone. What a week. Janice says it's such a great video of Bricks and Beaker cuddling. Yeah, there's a little Brixie playing with his toy. I think Chris has Beaker and Bunsen somewhere. I've got Bernoulli. He's like glommed onto my arm right now. And then this is a good question. So Jennifer asks, is Bricks still?
No, now you're gone. Is Brick still?
Hello?
Hi. Yeah, now you're there.
Okay. Sorry, I don't know.
You said
I better not move. Can you hear me, Chris?
Now I can hear you. Yep.
Okay. Okay. I think my computer is just having some troubles. So sorry about that, everybody. Okay. Brix is still on the antivirals. Did you answer that question, Chris? I apologize.
No, I didn't, but he is still on the antivirals, and he'll be on them for 42 days. So we just went and renewed our prescription for more week at a time antivirals for little Brixie, and we caught up with some of the vet techs up at Cedarwood Clinic that we love, and you know, they saved Brix's life, and they saved Bunsen's life. So
I know it's a very emotional place to go to that pet hospital. Geez. They're actually doing a story about Brix, which is really sweet. So they'll tag us in the story, and then we'll make sure that goes out on our social media sides.
Yeah. And then also one of the, they had a student vet with one of our vets that was a primary vet on Brix's case. And, you know, they came in together, and of course our vet said, "Is it okay if she's here?" And we're like, "Oh, of course, come on in." And there was some delivery of very bad news on Tuesday when we went in, because he was full of fluid at that point, and they didn't know what was going on, and it just wasn't a great, I guess, prognosis to share, like, because they really were unsure of what was going on. And so imagine being that vet student having to be part of that conversation. But you learn the delicacy of how to deliver news and good bedside manner. And yeah, so at that point, you know, she followed along Brix's case, and when he turned around and was getting better, she asked us if she could use his case as part of a presentation, because part of their vet training is to find an interesting case and be able to present on it. And she's going to present for 10 minutes. And Jason said, "Oh, I think you have enough material for more than 10 minutes. Yeah. So, and it was interesting because I said, "Oh yeah." And then tomorrow he's going. So that was on Friday when she asked, and we're like, "Yes, of course." You know, Bunsen donated his tapeworm cyst to science down at the U of C where she is. And so she's like, "Oh, I'm going to look that up." I'm like, "Well, I don't know if you really want to see that, but okay." And yeah. And then I said, "And tomorrow he'll have his echocardiogram. And so that can maybe add more to part of the diagnosis, and maybe we'll have answers. Like we'll know if it's his heart or not." And it's not. He has a very healthy heart. So we're still up in the air of what was the cause, but we're just glad he's home for sure. But to answer the question, yes, he's still on antivirals. Sorry, that was my short story long.
Yeah, that's how Chris rolls with stories. You get a lot of good information though. So we'll try our best to get through some of these questions. They're coming in fast and furious. Michelle says, from who's watching on Instagram, how much does Brix weigh? So we actually weighed him.
He's 4.14 kilograms.
Sorry, Chris?
He's 4.14 kilograms.
Right. 4.14.
He went in at 4.2, and he lost a little weight in there. So it's also a little bit of a weight loss program that he was part of, I guess.
Yeah.
But he wasn't chunky. Yeah, he's about 9 pounds, but he wasn't chunky to go in with. Like, of course, he's a decent weight.
So Faye, is Brix needing to be on medication for a while? Hopefully we answered that. Yeah, 41 days. Janice
42 days.
42 days.
Maybe 41 days, yeah. Because 82 used to be 82.
Get from the pills. So it's actually a liquid. The FIP antiviral is a liquid. He gets 1.3 mils in a little syringe, and I don't think taking it is his favorite, but he trusts me, and I open up his mouth and I just squirt it in there. And they actually were having a hard time giving it to him the first time. So it was it was pretty special. They asked me to come in really early and give him medicine in the morning.
They asked us, Jason. We offered actually.
Yeah. So it was really fun. It felt good that we were helping. Yeah. But you kind of have to open his mouth. It's not his favorite. I don't think it tastes terrible.
Yeah, otherwise he wouldn't take it, but
BS Sherm asked more checkups. He will be going for a checkup next week. Yes. Yeah. Amusing by Mona says, I'm somehow super invested in your fur family now. Yeah. It was pretty overwhelming, the response that we got on all three of our major channels, and some of our minor ones were also pulling for us. But I don't know if I'll go back. I don't know if I want to go back and look at the first couple posts where Bricks was doing very poorly. It was a pretty emotional time, and like there are so many comments I know people gave us supporting us, like thousands of comments. So thank you for pulling for our Bricks and loving him from afar. Yeah, people were saying I was constantly checking your Instagram to see how Bricks was. That Christine said that, and Kim said that on Instagram. Melly Mel Paparazzi asked, you mentioned this past week you have pet insurance. Can you talk about that? So we have Pets Plus Us. I think you said they cover between 80 and 90%.
Well, there's different tiers that you can subscribe to. And make sure that you talk to an agent if you're interested. I thought I had added Bricks early on, like in November when we got him, and I just happened to be checking, and I was like, I think I'm going to call just to confirm. And so I did, like a few months after that, and he wasn't on. And she said, well, did you notice that the premiums had gone up? And I said, oh yeah, I noticed that it's gone up a little bit. And she said, oh, no, that was just because Bernoulli went up. And I said, I thought they were like kind of locked in at a price. And she's like, no, they aren't. So it's less expensive per month than Trupanion. But Trupanion, if there's a calamity, they will cover it. And if there's multiple calamities in a year, they will cover it. Whereas we're at a maximum value per year that Bricks will be covered for. And I have not submitted the paperwork, so I don't know how smoothly this is going to go in terms of getting reimbursement. But it'll be just part of the process, and I'll know more later how that is. Now, I did not realize because now, when you talk about the pet insurance and you talk about things, then my Facebook shares ads with me about Pets Plus Us. And yeah. And so I think they're also affiliated with Costco. But I'm not sure about that. I just saw an advertisement that said Pets Plus Us with Costco. And that might just be in the States. I don't know. We're in Canada. And so there's several companies that we could have gone with. But I kind of looked and compared like best coverage, decent cost, all of those things before, I guess, ease of use, that kind of stuff before we went with Pets Plus Us. And we did that with Bernoulli. So Bricks is on the same plan as Bernoulli, because she said, oh, would you like the same plan? And I said, yep, just sign me up. I think I was on my lunch hour or on my prep, and I just wanted to be off the phone, to be honest.
It gave us a bit of peace of mind because we knew we had a certain amount of coverage. We know we'll be reimbursed for most of it. And it was just like, yeah, save Bricks, do what you can. As long as he was, I did have a really tough conversation with Dr. Sparrow. Like day 3, I'm like, is Bricks suffering? Like, are we doing all of this? And he is just like, he seems okay, but like, are we doing all this and he's just suffering? And she said, no, he's not happy to be in the incubator, but he's not in pain. By that point, he was breathing a lot better. and the fluid was, going down a bit.
No, I think by day 3, Jason, we had started the antivirals.
Yeah, like he turned around.
We said, "Can we please just start them?"
Yeah.
Like if it turns out to be his heart, or it turns out to be another organ, like what's the harm?
There was no
in starting those antivirals.
Yeah.
And she said, well, cost. Well, if we're just doing like 2 or 3 doses, then that's just 2 or 3 doses. But like we had definitely lots of, and thank you to the vet community, like vets and vet techs had reached out to us and kind of said, ooh, we had a similar case where the FIP wasn't showing like the traditional signs and symptoms and didn't quite fit the mold, and that was Bricks. Like he just wasn't checking all the boxes for definitive diagnosis, and we're like, well, you know what, he's filled with fluid now, that's terrible, so let's try something. And if it wasn't going to hurt, and that's the thing, like there's always cost and benefit from medications. So like there are some things that you just don't want to throw out there and try just for the sake of trying, but there seemed to be enough medical science, vet science behind giving it a try. And he did have diarrhea, which is one of the things.
Yeah, that's a side effect of the antiviral. Okay, we'll try to answer some more questions. We don't really have a story of the week because Bricks has been our story. MK Hunkahan said, would you be open to doing a meet and greet with the pets? Yeah, absolutely. We've been to public events before and they've been really fun. Like the dogs have been guests at Comic-Con. We just live in the middle of Alberta, Canada. So like not a lot of people live near us to meet the dogs. But we did on a walk today with Waggles. Somebody's like, oh my God, is that Beaker and Bernoulli? And then she was telling her friend that she's like, these dogs are famous. And the friend was like, I don't care. Like, I don't think the friend really
they weren't going to, she wasn't going to say anything until, cause I know her. I taught her son. So that's why I introduced myself. I'm like, hi. And then I said her name and she's like, hi. And I said, yeah. And blah, 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 blah. And then she pieced it together that I said Beaker's name and she's like, is it, oh. And then she clued in that they're the famous science dogs. And then she was telling her friend, and she does work with diabetes. And so she was very interested in Bricks and his name being like a measurement of the sugar concentration. And then she was asking if any of our dogs are trained to smell out, diabetes, low blood sugars, high blood sugars. And we said no, but we are working towards doing some scent work with Bernoulli. Part of it was find his leash. And then part of it is that we've been doing, we went up to Edmonton and saw Marla, not recently, like within the last, 2 months. And she does scent work with wintergreen and things like that. So, he's very inquisitive and he really likes finding things. Actually, he just likes the positive reinforcement because he just loves being so good.
He loves working and then doing the right thing. It's his favorite.
It's his favorite.
Yvette says, hi guys, so glad Bricks was doing well. Thank you. That's a nice comment. Somebody else, there's a lot of comments that came in on Instagram. Chubby K said, so glad to hear Bricks is doing better. Also want to hear how Bernoulli did with this exam. Yeah, we can probably talk about that. Just real quick, I think we should just quickly talk about because we wanted it to be a bigger story than it was, because it was like a really powerfully emotional thing, and then Bricks got so sick and almost died
the same day.
Yeah, so
yeah,
it was Sunday.
Yeah,
so Sunday Chris did a bunch of legwork and got Bernoulli and Beaker signed up to be donor dogs for blood. because when Bunsen was so sick, they had blood on hand to give him if he needed it. He didn't need it. And then that, I was like, how does that work? And then Chris, you, so thank you for doing that. But then you can tell the rest of the story about donating blood, because it was really cool and pretty emotional that day.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. So like Jason said, I did some legwork. So at the clinic, when we were sitting in the waiting room waiting for Bunsen, there was a little poster on the front of the desk, and it said looking for canine donors. Mm-hmm. And so I scanned the QR code, and then I asked more about it, and I sent out a feeler in email. Now part of what we do at our school is we do service and help others. So as a staff, sometimes we'll go to the Ronald McDonald House, or we'll go to the Central Alberta Child Advocacy Center, or we'll go to, social services organization here in town, the John Howard Society, and go and donate our time and say, we're here. How can we help? How can we support? And we do that sometimes on a professional development day. And some people do go give human blood to the Red Cross. And I thought, wow, this would be another activity that we could do. We could take our dogs and donate blood. So that was kind of the thing that I wanted to kind of get started. So I reached out, and typically our professional development days are on Friday, which isn't good for blood donation. They need it earlier in the week so they can send it out. And she said, so logistically Friday isn't a great day. And then I was going to have it set up for exam week. And I reached out to her, and she's like, oh, I go on maternity leave the day before. You want to, organize this. And I said, oh no, that's okay. We're going to bring Bernoulli and Beaker regardless, because I wanted to be part of that to give back because of Bunsen and because of all sorts of other dogs that would benefit from the blood. So you and I went on Sunday, and Beaker was too small.
She's too little. Oh. She got on the scale and she was like, what, 5 pounds shy or something like that?
Yeah, she has to be 50 pounds, and she's not.
No, she's little.
No, she was too little. But she got to benefit from all the treats. She's like, well, this isn't bad.
Yeah, she was like moral support. It was cute.
It was so cute. She actually loves the vet. Yeah. She loves going, like they come out and then they go back in the room to go get whatever medicine, like if it's tick medication or
like a vaccine,
like a vaccine or whatever. And she's always like at the door going, hey, got more treats? What are you doing back there? Can I come with? So she's super cute at the vet. It's awesome. But yeah, no, she was there for moral support. And then Bernoulli, so because he had not done it before, she said sometimes on their first visit, they don't actually go through the whole process. They want it to be a positive experience for the dog so that they'll be continuous donors for time to come. And they take dogs that are between 1 and 8 and are over 50 pounds. So I said, we're going to do a Hansel and Gretel thing with Beaker. And that was a joke because we don't want to fatten her up. But we don't want to fatten her up. But Bernoulli is definitely big enough to donate blood. So we're very proud of him because he did some scary things, like not scary to us, but to dogs, it can be scary. So there was a bit of shaving of his fur and he was a bit nervous about that. So we've got some homework to do. I've got like handheld razor shaver so that goes zzz, and so I'll kind of practice with that with him so he gets more comfortable. And he lay down on the table.
Well, they have to hold the dog, like they had to flip, they had to be flipped, and then they have to pin him because, like, a dog that has lots of experience probably will just lay there, but they take the blood right from their artery in their neck. I didn't know that. The jugular.
No.
Yeah.
Jason was very go with the flow, but he also was like, oh my God, what have we got ourselves into?
Yeah. I thought they'd go from his arm or something. I was like, oh, he'll do that. No problem. like, no, that we got to flip him and go into his neck. And I was like, oh, geez. Okay.
Yeah.
And then he did it. And I'm like, oh, I
He
guess
did
this
it.
is happening. And they're, and they got a bunch of blood out of him with the first test, but it wasn't right in his artery perfectly. And then that's when she said, you know what, he's doing great, but we're going to stop now. So,
yeah. And then
But,
baby
yeah.
steps. And so I guess to answer the question, she's on maternity leave now, but she said that a colleague from Edmonton is going to keep coming and doing the clinics. And so in about 3 to 6 months is when we'll try again.
Yeah, we'll have him trained up and desensitized to razors, and I'm gonna try getting him to like lay on his side, because that's not a trick he knows, is to like lay on his side. He's a good boy. He can get up and he'll lay down and he'll sit, but he doesn't know how to lay on his side. So we'll work on that. So a bunch of other questions came in. So glad Bricks is doing much better. This is Janica, who's watching on YouTube. Unsure if this has been asked, but did the other dogs pick up on Bricks' situation? When Bricks hopped down to have supper, we knew something was really wrong because he came down really slow and then he didn't eat his food. And Bernoulli knew something was horribly wrong with him. Like Bernoulli was like super worried about his buddy. Did you notice anything else, Chris?
Well, yes. So when we would come home, of course, Bricks was very stressed out. We came home like covered in Brick's hair and Brick's smell. And I think that was, just being in a stressful environment. Typically Bricks doesn't shed a whole ton on us. Like
he doesn't.
Let's be real. Like there's hair everywhere in our house, but like, it's not like I've gone and looked like I've rolled in hair.
But we strategically video some days so you don't see the clumps of hair on the ground. So before we get up the vacuum.
Yeah. But we were covered in Bricks's fur. And when we would come in, the dogs would be smelling us and very concerned, smelling our clothes.
All
and
three.
Like looking and
which was heartbreaking.
Wondering, like that's heartbreaking too.
They were looking for Bricks. Yeah.
They were looking for their buddy.
Yeah. So yeah, they knew something was up for sure. Here's a much more uplifting question. So, and to answer the Bernoulli doing his level 3, are you continuing training lessons with Bernoulli now that he's graduated? Yeah. So he did level 3. Everything kind of like went out the window that week to like book more because Bricks was so sick, but we're on it now. So there's a bunch of things that we're going to be looking to put him into. We're gonna have a busy summer. There's scent detection. Shar with Waggle said that Bernoulli would do really well at scent detection, so we're going to put him into that. There's level 4. I don't know when the dates are. Those Chris Shar didn't tell me, but he can take a level 4 training, which is like right before. I don't know. Like they're moving towards a program to certify dogs as like some kind of like facility therapy dog or something like that. I don't know if Bernoulli will have the temperament for that, but he definitely could get the training, and that's fine. And then also agility work, because he's surprisingly agile for a big dog. Like he's surprisingly agile. Like he can spin around and he can walk sideways and he can swim. Like he can do all these things that smaller dogs can do. So yeah. Anything else to add there, Chris, before I move to the next question?
No, just that, we still want to keep him involved in things. And those are some things that we can do. Tuesday night was the day that he tested for his level 3. And our thoughts were definitely elsewhere. Like we really tried, but I think he picked up on our stress. And
that was hard because that was hard to do that test with him.
Yeah, but the facility Waggles knows Bernoulli, and they know that he can do all the things because they use him as a demo dog sometimes when other dogs are there. And so they know that what he's capable of, and he's shown them multiple times all the things in level 3. And I think part of it is the dog is trained, but the human is trained even more so. Like, we have to be the ones that know how to do swish and know how to do a good finish and know how to get ready, and we are indicating to the dog, tells them what they need to do. But we were a bit frazzled, definitely, that day.
Oh,
well,
very,
okay.
Very frazzled.
We were stressed out about Bricks, and then we had the duct guy come, the duct cleaner, and he called it like
that was
we should have.
Anyways,
we should have canceled, but we didn't. He's like, "Hi, I'm coming to do your ducts," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I forgot," but I didn't tell him I forgot. I was like, why did I book that? But I did want to get it done, and so Jason helped out with that. Came home, and then he sucked out all the gunk, and he said it wasn't too bad, but with three dogs and a cat, it adds up. So I was glad to have it done, but it just was one more thing on a day that it was like, really we signed up for this, okay? But we went with the flow, and yeah, and Bernoulli and Beaker were at Waggles already, so it's like a perfect day for someone to come in the home. Bricks wasn't there, so he wouldn't be like Ginger and run out. And Bunsen was there, though, but Bunsen's a good boy. A large dog, so yeah.
Kay Brown asks, how's Bernoulli's friend, the service dog? I think he's a Roddy. It's a he and a she. Chesney is the girl, and Kenji is the boy. They're doing great. From what I see on social media, we've been kind of too busy to visit or go up there and see them, but that's in the future. Hudson Pens, I think, I don't know if that's one of the students I taught, or maybe its last name looks familiar. How is Ginger doing? So people were concerned about Ginger maybe contracting FIP, but FIP is a mutation of the coronavirus that cats carry with, and they're asymptomatic. So of course we asked Adam asked Adam to keep a watch on Ginger, and she seems to be just fine. There's some questions maybe on Twitter you need to look at, Chris. I'm not sure. I'll keep going through Instagram. There's
Paula wants to know how Paula's same question. How's Ginger doing? And how is the parrot doing? Do you know the parrot that shared the same breathing box as Bricks? They shared an abode. I just wish Beaker wasn't barking at Bunsen. Bunsen's just sitting here minding his own business, and Beaker's being a troll.
She's sassy.
So the bird came in. It was a macaw bird. Came in for respiratory distress and went home about an hour later, and then came back a few hours later. But then after that was able to be discharged and went home.
So all we know is the macaw went home. So hopefully everything went okay. Lavita asks a really good question. Were you surprised at how many people reached out? We sort of went through that with Bunsen when he got so sick 2 years ago. But our account on Instagram and Facebook was quite small. So we had so much support with our Twitter/X community, and it really helped us knowing there were so many people pulling for us. But this was on a whole other level with Bricks. We had the wonderful support from X and Twitter. We have our Paw Pack, which are they're friends now. They're our kind of private community we have, and then Instagram, Facebook. It was just overwhelmingly. It was very powerful, and I would go through the comments and I would get like super emotional. I'd have to close the app. Like I just couldn't. I don't know if I can actually go back to some of those first posts. I did not like the comments or comment on them. I just don't know if I can. But after we knew Bricks was getting better, that's when I sucked it up and read the comments and answered some of the questions. But the first couple days it was too raw. And thank you so much to everybody who left those comments of support and prayer, and they were thinking of us. It was pretty spectacular. And maybe it led to the early FIP treatment with Brix from some of the expertise of folks emailing us saying, hey, get them on FIP antivirals as soon as possible. So thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was really tough. But we knew that everybody was pulling for us. And so like we did want to keep everybody informed, with the small wins that we had, but then also the setbacks that we had. And, you know, it's different when you go through it privately, as opposed to very publicly. And
that's a tough thing, because we have our pets are now public, like very public. And I made the decision 2 years ago with Bunsen to keep everybody in the loop, because like, what if something went wrong and he died? And thank God he didn't. But then we'd have to make that post and people would be like shocked. So we're just like, okay.
Yeah, the shock.
I don't know.
I know. We don't know what's best.
I don't know what's best. Maybe we made the wrong decision. Maybe we should have kept it a bit more private. I think about that sometimes. And then it's just that it's a tough call sometimes. So, but thank you for all the support. It was pretty powerful.
But what I think was really helpful is that you kind of put everything in the Substack, you know, and sort of were able to catch people up who maybe missed the first part, or you tried to answer some of those questions, because like every third comment was, and what about this? And what about this? And have you considered this? And so by putting it all in the Substack, we were hoping to not have to answer the questions over and over and over again, but still support and honor the questions that were being asked.
Yeah, that was helpful, and it saved me some time. Yeah, as you said, Chris. There's kind of a good question Nikki had from Facebook. It's older, so sorry, Nikki, I didn't get to it right away. How much blood do they take from a dog? And then I forget. Peter says about a pint. I don't know if that's true or not. We'll go with sure. I forget what they said. I wasn't really listening because I did not know we were going to have to flip Bernoulli, pin him, and then take blood from his jugular. So I was like, oh, I'll just keep feeding him treats and they'll just slurp it from his arm like a person. So I was not prepared for that.
No, you were like processing, going.
I was like, holy S, this is going to be intense. Here's a very fun comment from Natalie, and also a very nice comment, who's watching on Facebook. They have 2 burners and a spaniel and a ragdoll kitty, and we tease them and call them Bunsen or Bernoulli. Aw. And that was really nice. You thought of us and kept us in your prayers. Thank you. Very sweet. And then, oh, that's nice. Thank you, Danielle. Your Substack was perfect. And then Janice says, I was going back and forth between all 3 and posted on everyone. Oh my God. Now that you're doing much better, you need to take a minute for the 2 of you to recover. Well, we did a bunch of cleaning today. That was fun. No.
Yeah. So, I tried to use the vacuum and it wasn't sucking. And I said, Jason, like, can you help me with the vacuum? And he's like, oh yeah, I can. And then he went out to the canister. We have a central vac and it was full. And he's like, well, that's why it's not working. And he said, but I just cleaned it out. And I said, Jason, you know, we do have 3 dogs and a cat, and the hair adds up quite quickly. And I think I lose some of my hair too. You probably do as well. Anyway, we all shed. It's all shed Mageddon here. And so it was full. And then we cleaned it out, and then I was able to vacuum to my heart's content. But yeah, I got like a lot of the fur bunnies, the dust bunnies. Yeah, so we're really excited about that. It feels really good to do spring cleaning in summer, because this is the time that we have.
Yeah. So just some stuff about Chris and I. Sarah asked, "Are you still able to get away?" Yeah, we're taking a pretty major vacation in August. In August, we're going to Nova Scotia on the east coast of Canada. So we'll be out there for a while in August.
Yeah, and if you have anything to do on Cape Breton, let us know. We've booked 3 days there, and Jason's because we are going to do the North Cumberland as well, and maybe we should have taken an extra day there. Because he's like, oh, is there enough stuff to do for 3 days on Cape Breton? I said, no. There's 2 things to do.
Okay.
So,
well, I booked too many days.
So
it's fine.
We might have too many days on Cape Breton, but I'm sure we'll find things to do. There's another hike that maybe I'll just send Jason on. It's like hard. I like moderate hikes, moderate to easy. And Jason likes, death marches. Up steep.
I love hiking. I love it. I'm scared of heights. So mountain hikes, if it's like we got to do scrambling aside a cliff, I don't like that. That's not my favorite. But going up a mountain, no problem, as long as I can't fall and die. So
yeah, so we might need another thing to do, or another couple things to do on Cape Breton. But I said to Jason, it's okay if there's nothing else to do, then we'll just drive back and hang out in Metro Halifax, because the kids are like little crows. They like to buy things. And like look at all the little shops.
I did tell you we now have more than 1 million followers across our social media platforms. I'm sure some people will give us advice.
Well, Adam and I had gone with the Royals.
Yeah.
And so we loved some of the things that we did for sure with the Royals. And so like maybe we can sneak into PEI and go to the red sand beach. But yeah, so but then
people are saying
Jason's
we should swing into Maine when we're in Nova Scotia. I think Maine's kind of far away because you got to go back into New Brunswick and then south. I'm pretty sure. I think like Nova Scotia is kind of a peninsula.
Anyway, we're super excited to go and do some new things. We went on the Explore Nova Scotia website, and there's like 7 regions. And so I think you could do it all in like 2 weeks. So we had to pick like things that we like. And Jason's going to get one hike in that he wants to go on so bad. So that one's on that we're going to do, which is exciting. And maybe some whale watching and like some and we're really excited.
Seafood. I'm so excited to have like seafood again.
No, it's not seafood where it's not seafood where you chew and then go see my food. No, it's it's actual seafood. We're landlocked here in Alberta, so Jason loves the fruit from the sea. Is that what seafood's called?
Yeah.
The fruit from the ocean. I don't know. I don't eat it. I cannot like it at all, but Jason loves it.
Yeah. Do the dogs and Bricks go on vacay or do they stay back? No. So we are looking. It didn't work out because we don't do well planning months and months ahead. But we are, one of the plans, but we didn't do it, was renting a huge RV because it's cheaper than hoteling it. And then the RVs, I found a bunch that allow pets, and then we can take the whole crew on a big road trip in an RV. So we were looking at that. It just didn't happen because you got to book stuff ahead of time and campsites book up. And Chris is not a maybe big fan of booking or camping. So, but yeah,
true.
Yeah. I brought Shatsy Mum wanted to speak, so maybe we'll go to Shatsy Mum, who's on X Audio. Go ahead. Did you have a question or comment? Maybe not.
Well, Twitter was acting funny. Steve in the comments said that Twitter's acting weird.
Mhm.
And it doesn't look like Chatsy's mom is muted. She's unmuted. So,
Oh, dang. We do have a request. It's like it didn't bring her up. You might have to exit and then come back in and try that. Perry Cats 2 asks who's going to take care of all the animals. So Bunsen, Beaker, and Bernoulli are going to go to Waggles because they've expanded, which is wonderful, to have boarding throughout the whole time. And then your friend Amy is going to watch Brixie. And of course, this is all dependent on the animals remaining healthy. Like if things go south, I bought extra insurance so we can cancel and get most of our money back.
okay, so maybe Shatsy's mom, you can unmute again. It says that you can now speak, but now you're muted. So you just have to click the little mic at the bottom.
Robin has a good point on Facebook. There's a lot of pet-friendly places in New Brunswick and in Nova Scotia, but the problem is getting our pets there. Canada is enormous, and the distance from our house to Nova Scotia is insane and expensive. I think it would have been cheaper to fly to Japan than to Nova Scotia. So... some of the happiest memories of our life were a large RV and 3 dogs and a cat traveling. Yeah. We think it would be really fun too. And it allows us to go for a lot longer and then have those experiences with all the animals. So who knows? Maybe we'll do a short trip. You know, maybe we would do a short trip in the middle of July with an RV, like a taste test, Chris.
A taste test. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, Tuna. Tuna had a question. I missed it. Tuna_Lou. I posted the question, but I had to log out and unsure if it disappeared. I missed it. If you do get another cat or dog, what B names are on your list? We went through a whole bunch with Bernoulli and Brix. So we have a bunch in our pocket. It would really depend on the animal, I think, what we'd go with.
Maybe the next animal can be a girl.
Yeah, it can be a girl, like Burette. That's
like
cute.
Burette. That's so cute.
That'd be very cute.
But it just seems not in the cards to get a girl.
Oh, come
we
on.
Haven't, we haven't
so
had a girl since
Brix.
Speaker.
I know. We were so lucky to get Brix. He's such a sweetie.
No.
He is such a sweetie. He is
Maxman says, just be prepared. Lobster is still pricey. The fried clam food trucks are amazing, and they have the best poutine with dressing. Okay. Well, good news is Jason really likes crab. Not so much lobster, but he's just wondering if it's Atlantic lobster, if that's different than,
Pacific
lobster that you can get at the Pacific Northwest or the keg. Surf and turf.
Yeah,
surf and turf is maybe
whatever
delicious.
we get in Alberta is awful, I'm sure, and maybe that's why I don't like it, because it's like weeks old. Some lobster in a tank. Liz says Brix is one of the sweetest cats I've ever seen. Yeah, he is a sweetie. I keep saying that he is just so friendly, and he's so friendly, and he's so cuddly. Like he'll just choose to hop up and just cuddle with you for an hour. Which is, I mean, the dogs are friendly and they're cuddly, but not like Brix. He's like on a whole other level.
Yeah.
Probably why we were just like so devastated he was so sick. Jaina asks, how are the animals handling Brix coming back home? Bernoulli's thrilled to have his buddy back. When the first couple of days he kept checking on him. You go up and check on him. You go up and check on him. You go up and check on him. Brix went and hung out with Bunsen. That was really cute for like a half an hour on the floor. Bunsen was there and Brix sauntered over and laid right next to him, and they just like hung out together. And Beaker is tolerating Bricks and let him on the couch. So there you go. Jacana, who's watching on YouTube, says Bricks is part of the pack. And love how he likes to go on walks. Do you get a lot of lake fish in Alberta? Yeah, there's some places you can fish. You got to go way north, though. The lakes around where we live are pretty fished out. We're up because
no, they stocked it. They stocked our ponds.
I know you can fish there. I'm talking like fish you could eat for supper, not like, oh, here's a little fish I caught. If you go north, there's like you can get fish for days and feed yourself for weeks.
I don't know, Jay. I used to go with Wilf with the boys when they were little, and we caught fish. I don't eat fish.
Oh, that's true.
So,
you guys got perch and things like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
You were going with Wilf, and he's a lumberjack. Like, he knows what he's doing. If you went with me,
Yeah.
I'd be like, we'd catch slugs and things like that.
Yeah. No, Wilf knows what he's doing. That's for sure.
And again, if you're on X and you'd like to come up to speak, go ahead. Or if you have a question you'd like to talk.
Well, it still has Shotzi's mom saying that she's a speaker, but unfortunately is muted.
Mm-hmm. Faye, who's watching on Facebook, has a really cute question, and I think both of us probably can answer it differently. Was there anything about Bricks as a young kitten that in the slightest way gave you an indication that his personality would develop into being sweet instead of sassy? So, Chris, you can go. I have an answer for that. That might be different than you.
Well, I just saw him on a picture. And I just felt called to him and his picture. Mm-hmm. And now part of it is the criteria that we have, being a longer haired cat. And so he's kind of considered a domestic medium hair. Maybe it's a little bit longer now. Well, it's shaved, so well he's sporting the same haircut that Bunsen sported after he left the Cedarwood Clinic. So maybe they just do belly shaves as part of the fee. But so that's what I was looking for when Jason said maybe we should look and get another cat. And so I just was compelled to his picture. He was so cute in the picture. He looked gentle. And then when I learned more about him and I learned more about his story, I just fell more and more in love with him. And like his mom tried really, really hard. She had 2 kittens of her own, and then another young mom, dumped her 5 kittens on the mom that had 2, and she didn't have enough milk, but she was trying her best to save all the kittens. It's just such a story. And so he's come from such adversity. And when I met him for the first time, he came running over and he like snuggled right in. And like learning more about the foster family that took care of him. So the cat foster mom runs a day home. And so she has like little kids that, play and socialize with the cats. And so Bricks got handled a lot as a tiny, tiny kitten as well. She has 5 cats of her own. And like those cats were teaching Bricks how to be a cat and how to be socialized. And so he had a really great experience in the foster cat system. And then when I met him, I just fell in love with him. And then I said, can Jason come and meet him? And Jason did. And now that's probably where you're going to share your story.
Yeah. Like I opened the door and this little gray ball scurried up to me. Like it was out of all the cats in the whole place, the one that we were there to see, he came running. I didn't know that little kitties did that. I thought they were kind of scared and they ran away. And he ran right to me and I scooped him up. And you're like, that's the cat. And I'm like, oh my God. And I flipped him over like a baby. And he was like, nom. And he was biting my finger. And I was like, oh my God, this is, we have to get this little guy. So yeah, that's my story.
Well, and then Jason scared me because he's like, other people might be interested in him. And then I was like,
because
what?
he's so freaking cute. He was so cute and sweet. But no,
Yeah,
she had them for him for us.
She had penciled us in, and I said, thank you so much. Because now that I have held this cat, I love this cat, and I actually want to take him home today. But we had to wait. We had to wait until he was of the appropriate age to be in our family.
Yeah. So there, hopefully that's a longer story, but hopefully it's answers the question. Paula, go ahead. You came up to speak, and then we'll go. There's a couple more questions, and I think that's our time for pet chat. Go ahead, Paula.
Hi, everybody. How you doing?
Oh,
that's kind of a bad question, right?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I must have had my audio screwed up, so hopefully you guys can hear.
Because I didn't know if you could hear me. I just said, "How you guys doing?" I said that's probably a funny question because I think we're all in the same boat. I have never had such an emotional week with you in my life, except when Bunsen was sick. And I was thinking, you guys have the most unusual pets that come through. So it's either the greater universe or God or somebody, but everybody was praying or doing whatever to whatever God they choose. But I am so glad that Bricks is home. So, but anyway, I just, like I said, I just think that what you guys do and post is so beautiful. And I don't want to get emotional because I know you've been through a lot, but I just have no words. I just think, Bunsen made it through and Bricks made it through. And you have another Bernoulli who gives blood and swims. It's like you never hear of a Bernese Mountain Dog swimming. You have very unique animals. So it's like, there's something special here.
Well, thank you, Paula.
And I just wanted to say that. I didn't want to crack up. I was trying to be brave here, but I don't know. I always wear my heart on my sleeve, but I can just say that, it's amazing what people can do and when a community comes together. And I just think that, they were all rallying for this little kitty. And I know we had some sad news on Twitter this week. I mean, we lost Nessie Doodle and there's a lot of stuff going on, as people will know, but, and I know stuff happens, but there must be some reason why these little animals are not, your little cat was okay. I mean, it must be a different case, but, he's writing books, like I said, new chapters in science books, and so did Bunsen. And maybe it's a learning curve for people or things that, are out of the norm, but there must be some greater universes to reason why that this is such a great ending. So that's all I want to say. Sorry. I didn't mean to get so emotional. And you guys.
Oh man, Chris and I both had some cry during the week. I'm not going to lie. I wrote about it that,
your
I felt
Substack was beautiful, by the way. And I gave it to people that don't even know you. They were like, "Oh my God, this cat, can you keep me posted?" I have a 90-year-old friend who loves cats and she's very cognitive, and she was so concerned for you and she wanted to know everything, update pictures. I was just forwarding stuff to her and copying and pasting, and she was just saying so many prayers for you guys too. So, and just so I'll be the spokesperson for you guys, if anybody wants some really cute merch or Bricks, you got some new stuff on your store on Bunsen Burner BMD. Go get some cute shirts and stuff because they are adorable. And I love the one with Bernoulli and Bricks running together. It's like, it's like I said, you guys do great. And thank you for all you do. And I love you to bits.
Oh, thanks, Paula. Thank you for coming up too. Yeah, it was, it's okay to be emotional about pets, and I have tears in my eyes right now. It was it was really tough to that Monday was awful when he was very, very close to death. One of the vets, I forget when she said it to me, but it like I had to like turn away and like compose myself because I was gonna like breakdown, but I forget what exactly she said, Chris, something along the lines that she said that she believed that the people who get cases like Bricks are the ones that can, they come to those people for a reason. And, you know, I was like, oh, dang, why is it us again? But because of Bunson's case and our, you know, our large social media following, that his tapeworm cyst will probably, his case will save other dogs. And maybe, you know, the Bricks's case will save other cats too. Some bet somewhere that is like, oh, this is weird. Is it pneumonia? Is it asthma? But maybe they'll have heard of this little kitty in Canada that it was atypical FIPS. Go ahead, Chris.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of ifs about that, because like I said, you know, when we brought him in out of an abundance of caution. So maybe we brought him in pre when you typically see cats come in where they're already filled with fluid. So maybe you saw the pre-FIP, but that doesn't make sense with the protein counts that didn't indicate it, and it doesn't make sense with the platelets and some of the other tests. But then I also said I'm not an epidemiologist by any stretch of the imagination, but even if you think of how the coronavirus you know, impacted humans and the different responses that humans had from the first variant to variant on right now, you know, things change, and we're all a unique fingerprint, and so how things react in our bodies might be different. So yeah, so like there's just so many things that are that I kind of went through my head. And Maxman is on Twitter, and they're going to Newfoundland on the way to Ireland in August and can't wait. So that's awesome. We looked at going to Newfoundland as well, but Jason couldn't find a rental vehicle. And we also kind of had to spend a little bit more time there to see all the things that we could see. So we're going to Nova Scotia. And Maxman's family is from Parrsboro, Nova Scotia. Amazing food and land. And Susan asks how often can dogs donate blood? And she did say the clinic was going to be in about like 6 months, maybe. So I'm not quite sure.
Every 3 months when that's what she said. But they only come to Red Deer every like 2 times a year. So we could obviously take Bernoulli to Edmonton, the bigger cities, where there's donations probably happening every couple weeks. But that's the difference between a city of 1 million and some people and our smaller town of Red Deer, which has like 90,000. So
Tracy says that she's been sick for a month, but finally is feeling better. So I'm glad you're feeling better, Tracy. And her cats are still happy, but there's something bothering them. So she has 2 tuxedo cats, Amy and Holt. Amy is pulling out fur while grooming, and they are both itchy. So vet visit on Tuesday. So I hope that you get some good news from that.
Yeah,
for sure.
Okay, I brought up Donna Craig to speak, Chris, so we'll go to her and then maybe a couple more comments. Go ahead, Donna. Thanks for waiting.
Hey, y'all. I just want to echo what Paula said. It's been a minute since I've talked to you guys. You guys know I lost Sasha a couple of weeks ago.
I'm so sorry about that.
I am too, but 16 years for a husky is a long, long time. So it was time, and yeah. But as far as you guys go, I don't know if y'all have any little extra brick stuffies available, but I would like to contribute to the vet techs and to whoever the vet is, that they can have their own little bricks. That would be kind of cool, because he is a memorable kitty and they all help save a celebrity cat. But I mean, one of my favorite comics in the whole wide world. I don't know if y'all know who she is, but Kathleen Madigan is hysterical. She is, Irish Catholic from Missouri that
Yep.
tells really funny stories. And she has this thing where she talks about you as a Catholic, and Chris is as well, you pray to the saint, don't bother Jesus. And so I knew everybody else was talking to God, Jesus, whoever, and I was going to Saint Agnes because she's the patron saint of cats. So I couldn't bother Jesus, but I'm really glad he pulled through. I know what you guys went through. I had a cat when I was a child through high school. He made it 20 years old, but he died because of that disease. And then he was one of the first cats to have it. So that wasn't a well-known thing at the time. So I was praying hard for you guys, dreading opening up Twitter or Instagram, but your Substack was chef's kiss, beautiful. And my heart was with y'all. So I don't have much to say other than if love could save every animal, we'd be full of animals and not bad humans.
Yeah.
That's true.
Thanks, Donna.
Oh, and watch the recalls, y'all. I'm starting to post some more, but there's been a lot lately. The U.S. government's been pretty slow about it, but if I see the ones about pet food that's done voluntarily, I actually get those out pretty quick. So I'm trying to look out for you guys. There's a lot coming down the pipe this week, so expect some posts from me.
Thanks, Donna.
Thanks,
And
Donna.
people who are on other social media sites and maybe are wondering about what Donna was talking about there, Donna is our food safety expert. So she posts regularly about things that are being recalled and unsafe products in the food chain supply. So she's on Twitter or X. So yeah.
Hello, Texas beef. Careful.
Yeah, we actually did.
Well, you have the screw worm down there.
Yeah, we actually did a story on that on our podcasts. Yeah.
But you'll be very proud of us, Donna. We cleaned the fridge today, and anything past its expiry went in the garbage. And I'm like,
yeah,
food safety, Donna Craig.
Yeah, well, I mean, there is a true expiration date, and there's a best by date.
Yeah.
So there's two different things because of flavor profile. And we talk about canned food, and even though they have an expiration date, as long as it's not dented, you're fine. But yeah, freezer, anything in the freezer, if it's been there a year, bye. But I'm proud of y'all. My heart sings.
thanks, Donna.
I had some coffee sweetener things. 2021. They went in the garbage.
They weren't in the fridge. They were in the
cupboard. So,
yeah.
Oh, my Lanta.
Yeah.
We're still working on finalizing the brick stuffy. We have the prototype, so if everybody wants to see it. Now I am frozen on my screen, so I can't see what I'm showing.
You're still frozen. I can't see you at all.
Oh, I'm frozen to you?
You've been frozen the whole time.
Oh, so nobody can see me on live. I'm frozen.
You're frozen. Well, at least it's better than a black screen.
Oh,
you did have like nothing.
I guess the bricks prototype is a mystery. They just have to change a little bit about his face, and we're waiting on the final switch. And then we will have our pre-sale campaign ready. We do have, Chris and I have been talking about one way, because we usually have, not everybody wants a stuffy, but they want to give a stuffy or give back. And I think what we can do is this time, Chris, and what I've mulled over, I'm sure you'll agree to it, is we can have a brick stuffy donation where the stuffy, I've been frozen on Facebook. Yeah, sorry. I don't know what's wrong with my camera. We'll have a brick stuffy donation, and the stuffy will go to the Central Alberta Child Advocacy Center, and then the profit will go to, like, the past break even on the stuffy will go to Cedarwood into they have a fund there for less fortunate people who need emergency care. So I think that's one way we can kind of do both, because people were asking about, oh, can we donate a stuffy? And we could, but it's easier to donate it like where we are, so you don't have to pay for shipping somewhere. So hopefully that's a good option. And hopefully people still actually want the brick stuffy from themselves, because it is super, super cute. Like his tail is so cute. His little gray ears are so cute. His little paws, very, very cute. But I'm frozen. You can't see it.
No. So sorry, everyone. But at least you get, it's not like you have a dumb face on either. Oh, you're gone totally now forever.
I'm going to come back, see if my camera's back. Now it's just a black screen, right?
No camera.
Do I have audio?
You have audio.
Well, sorry, everybody.
You shouldn't have left.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have left.
Yeah. It's just a weird face I'm frozen as. Sorry, everybody.
You don't even have a face, Jay. There's no face there.
Frozen with a normal look.
Yeah, you had a frozen normal look, but now it's just the black screen.
I don't know. Anyways, I think we'll wrap it up.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for everybody who came tonight to listen to the show. Sorry I have no picture. I'm a ghost. Ooh. I do want to thank everybody who supported and sent us kind words and encouragement and prayers when Bricks was so sick. I do want to also thank, there a ton of people supported us by subscribing and being a paying member to our Substack and subscriber on social media. There's a bunch of people joined the Paw Pack. So all of that was quite overwhelming and like helps us with any cost overruns, obviously with Bricks being so sick. Thank you so much for that. We don't require anybody to do anything that they don't need to. So thank you for so much for that. Over to you, Chris.
Yeah, thank you everybody for coming, and thank you for sharing in our story. It was a stressful story for us, but it does have a good outcome. But we are very aware how fortunate Bricks is that he was able to pull through, and then not all of the four-legged fur babies do. I do want to send out a heartfelt condolence to Nessa Doodle. And thank you for all of you who have been posting funny pictures about going to Walmart.
With curlers and pajamas.
With curlers, yeah. I've been smiling about those because it's a hard time. It's a very hard time to lose your pet, and I know that you're doing your part to be a bit uplifting for that family. So thank you, and thank you for continuing to follow us and all sorts of uplifting pets on social media, because if we could have that in our algorithm, then the world is a brighter place, that's for sure.
Yeah. And to all the folks who work in animal care and animal health, thank you for the work that you do. 2 of our pets are with us today because of you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, the good thing about not having video is nobody can see me tear up. You can just hear it.
Well, there you go. They got to see me tear up.
Yeah.
When Paula was talking, like, and Donna.
Tears coming down my eyes, and I was like, oh, but that's okay. All right. We'll see everybody next week.
Okay. Bye, everybody. Thanks for coming.